So in this tutorial we're gonna look at how to download the OGG files from Bandhub, um, so that we can then use these files to export our unfinished collaborations over to other websites or other programs, um, that will then allow us to either continue looking for other people to collaborate with or to make further adjustments to the recordings you already have. Now, first of all, the Bandhub application downloads each individual track as an OGG file, and it saves it in this directory here: C drive, users, your username, app data. If you can't see this folder here, that means you need to enable to view hidden files and folders. You can do that from view, options, view, and then we have show hidden files, folders and drives. You need to have that selected if you want to see this. Another way to navigate to that folder is to just type it in: app data, local, Bandhub, cache. So if you've never done this, you're going to see hundreds, or possibly thousands of files here. This is probably why, if you have a lot of files here, like hundreds or thousands of files, you've probably had a hard time with the recording app in Bandhub. You need to clear this cache directory to make sure that the application works, is fairly responsive. It's not so much of an issue now because the site's closing down anyway. But anyway, if you have a lot of files here, what I suggest is you move them to a different directory, so that you can then look through some little surprises you'll find in there, such as videos or video files of your own contribution to the collaboration. So instead of the split screen with the tiles, you can find the individual video recordings of yourself in this folder. Now, what we're going to do here is, say if you've moved them all, you would end up with an empty directory. And what we are going to do is we're going to find an unfinished collaboration, and I have one here. And to download the OGG files, we launch the recording app as if we were going to record an additional track for this collaboration. We're not going to record anything, but what this does, as you can see, is it downloads the files. It will then take a few moments to process, and when it's finished, this progress screen, a little window, will go away. Let's have a look. Wait a few moments. Shouldn't take too long. I actually have a few tracks on synthesizer and guitar for this collaboration, so the more tracks you have, the longer this is going to take. It also depends on the speed of your internet connection and your computer hardware as well. So if you have one of those collaborations where you have 20 tracks and you have a slow computer, this could take a long time, like half an hour or something. Okay, that's done. Instead of recording, I'm just gonna close this window now. Close. And I'll go back to my cache directory, and here we have each track as an OGG file. We have also, you may notice that one of them is actually larger than the others, much larger. If we're talking about moving our collaboration over to OurJamz, for example, we're not going to use this file, but you should keep it. We'll talk about that in a minute. So let's just figure out what these files are. Okay, we'll just quickly do this. Synth 01. Yeah, synth 02. I'll try and turn it down a bit. That might be too loud for you guys. So what have we here? Synth 03. This is just to make it easier to work with later. Vocals. Bass. Guitar. What's this? Another guitar. Vocals. And last one is the backing track. Okay, so again, we're not going to use this large file for now, so we'll ignore it. We're going to select all the files that we've just renamed, and again, we're not selecting the larger file, only the smaller ones. I'm going to say send to compressed folder. Now we go to, let's just get rid of this home. We're gonna go to new jam. Let's say BH cover heads will roll. Yes. Cover. This is a cover of another song. We're going to choose our zip file that we've just created. So double click. Takes a few seconds to show up. There we go. Continue. And this part just takes a few seconds. Upload success. We'll close that. And after a few seconds we'll get a notification bell. Here we go. Your jam's ready. Heads will roll. And OurJamz has taken care of extracting the contents of the zip file. Okay, I'm going to go to Jam Workstation, as I have a Pro or Premium subscription, whatever it's called on this site, and I can then see each track that I've renamed here. You can then change, you can add effects to these tracks. You can do all sorts of cool things, change levels, etc. There are other tutorials out there that show you how to do that, so I'm not going to cover that here, but that should get you going if you want to continue with a collaboration that you had in Bandhub and you wish to export it to OurJamz and continue collaborating. Now, going back to the large OGG file. What this file can be used for is in a digital audio workstation like Audacity, for example. Audacity is free of charge. You can, instead of using several individual OGG files, you can just move this large OGG file here, and what you'll end up with are stereo tracks for each instrument, very similar to what we have on OurJamz, but here you just need one file to do it. And again, you can then do all sorts of adding effects, realigning the tracks to make sure that they all match. For example, if you have a collaboration where one of the participants had some latency issues because they've never cleared their cache folder, this is where you can fix that. You can move, you can realign the track by thousandths of a second to try and make sure that everything lines up and it sounds as tight as possible. Lots of tutorials out there for how to use Audacity, so that's it from me. Thank you for watching.